Coming up today on Channel 97 News.
We check on a couple of popular classroom pets.
We visit with an OHS alum who is the host with the most.
And we profile a freshman who has found her favorite sport.
All that and more on Channel 97 News.
And it starts now.
Welcome to this special holiday edition of Eyes on the Tigers, Channel 97 News. I'm Kylie Gaither.
And I'm Kylie House. We hear about people battling depression over the holidays.
And depression and anxiety is a big issue for teenagers as well.
Jordan Basita and Nate Rouse have more.
Teenagers all across the world are doing amazing things, from taking over the music industry to speaking out against global issues. It's easy to compare ourselves when there's inventors, activists, and entertainers that haven't even graduated high school yet. So, when did we start thinking we had to be so perfect?
Teens today are more depressed and anxious than ever before, and I think it's really hard for adults to understand because what we're seeing is they have everything. What do they have to be depressed about?
Although the struggles of today may not be the same as they once were, our generation is dealing with a new element: social media. We often hear teenagers are addicted to their phones. But how accurate is this statement? Turns out, it's pretty accurate. Studies show that the brain isn't fully developed until age 25. Therefore, our pleasure centers in our brain are becoming hardwired, making us more addicted. Although cell phone and social media addiction is most prevalent among teenagers, it's affecting more people than we think.
Why are parents all of a sudden rescuing their kids? Where are they getting it? Social media. Because when I see my friends post about their kid who's a straight A student, what does that make me think? Is my kid a straight A student? Oh, he's not? Well, I need to get on that. Every time we rescue them from a bad grade or a consequence, we're causing them to feel like they cannot deal with life on their own.
The statistics show the gravity of the situation. So there's just one question: is depression treatable?
Exercise, good sleep, good quality food, getting therapy, possibly medication. You know, depression is really, really treatable, but it's gonna take some support for somebody that's really low to have any desire to do any of those things.
If the teenage years aren't hard enough, social media is now causing us to compare our real life to a fake reality. With more cell phone use comes more dissatisfaction with life. With Nate Rouse behind the camera, I'm Jordan Basita for Channel 97 News.
You know, another thing that stresses me out is standardized testing.
I know what you mean. I took the ACT 5 times, but there are some changes in store. Hunter and I have the story. The upcoming 2020-2021 school year will consist of new changes to the ACT.
New options for next year are students can take individual subject tests. In order to take a subtest only, it has to be an online testing center. We are not equipped here at Oakville to be an online testing center yet, and I don't know if or when we would get to that point. So the students would have to do a search for testing centers if they're wanting to do the online option.
I don't think it's very fair to me, especially since I've taken the ACT a few times. And I feel like if they're going to split it up in the way that you can take just like one section at a time, it'll be way easier to like focus on one at a time, don't have to worry the rest of the test.
I think that the changes for the ACT are going to be beneficial to the students, especially since they will have a chance to zone in on subjects, and also because having multiple subjects to focus on and study for is really just a lot.
The two things that students should really check on is one, the school that they're looking at, will they accept a super score? And two, will they allow for retake of subject tests?
To know if your preferred school will accept super scores next August, make sure to contact the admissions office. With Hunter Brennan behind the camera, I'm Kylie Gaither for Channel 97 News.
One thing that helps with stress is holding an animal.
That's right. Students in Miss Fruworth's class know this all too well.
Mrs. Fruworth is a well-known teacher here at OHS. But what some people don't know about her classroom is, it is home to a couple of cuddly creatures. Snuffleupagus and Phineas T. Barnum are more than just class pets.
I think the students have an option for their anxiety sometimes. I know that I suffer with anxiety, and when I'm having a stressful day, they're there. I can pick them up, and holding an animal and petting an animal just totally changes your mindset. And my students are the same way. Last year I had a kid that didn't like big writing assignments, so every time we went over a big writing assignment, he would get in the bunny pin with them and hold the bunny, and he said it helped him calm down as he heard what he had to do instead of getting real stressed out. I started bringing the bunnies 4 years ago. I really think animals in a classroom change the dynamic entirely, and in grade schools they have pets, class pets all the time, and I thought, why don't we do this for high school too? During final exams time, end of semester, grades are due, I have teachers randomly stopping by throughout the day, and sometimes they don't even talk to me. They just walk over and pick up a bunny and just hold the bunny for a while and then put the bunny down and leave. Because just like kids, we get stressed out. And so it's a stress reliever. You can't hold an animal and hang on to stress. As soon as you pick them up, your entire body changes.
We asked some students how the bunnies make them feel.
The bunnies make me feel really happy. I really like going in there. Like if I'm stressed, I'll go in there and pick up the bunny, and I'll just like hold it and play with it.
I forgot all bad emotions and just happiness.
With Eva Beidel and Brooke Mender behind the camera, this is Matt Keller for Channel 97 News.
Here's another feel-good story for you.
One of our NHS students shows how she helps people during this holiday season.
Saturday morning, my alarm clock rings at around 8 o'clock, and I get ready. I leave for the food pantry. So when I get to the food pantry, I normally put my stuff in my locker. I always choose the same locker every week. I go inside, ask anyone if they need any help.
This routine started with Brittany's desire to help our community.
I Googled volunteering around me, and the Arnold Food Pantry was the first thing to pop up on the search results. So every Saturday since that day, it was like in April, I started going to the food pantry.
We really don't get by unless we have volunteers. And throughout the week, we might have 60 or 70 permanent volunteers, people that come in maybe once a day. Some come in every day. We also rely heavily on volunteers like Oakville High School students.
Brittany initiated something new for Oakville's NHS.
Having a leadership position in NHS helped me get more people involved in volunteering in the food pantry. So now we have about 4 to 6 people coming every second and third Saturday of the month. It's been good for the community because it allows Oakville to not only help others in the community, but it shows what other people are experiencing outside of Oakville.
On a monthly basis, we might help out about 600 families, ranging anywhere from 1 to 8 people. And by last year, I think over 12,000 times we helped out individuals. We have people coming in every day that they need help.
Helping others is ultimately the greatest thing that I think that anyone can do.
With Macy Reek behind the camera, I'm Jessica Huing for Channel 97 News.
Hey Kylie, do you like game shows?
I've seen a few.
Well, here's a story on an OHS alum who has built his career on the stage.
The Price is Right live!
I always knew that I was going to be in some aspect of the entertainment industry.
Todd Noonan is an Emmy Award-winning game show host. He owes much of his success to OHS.
I graduated Oakville High School in 1988, but I was a product of the Melville School District from kindergarten on. I am Melville School District R9 through and through. I'm not one of those people that says you have to get that 4-year degree or you have to go out and get your doctorate or your PhD. For me, I knew a college education wasn't required to do what I wanted to do. But high school certainly was, not only academically, but socially, because it is in those 4 years that you meet every type of person to some degree.
Newton's career path is multifold. We met with Todd at The Price is Right Live, something he has been hosting for over 20 years.
And I started my radio career here in St. Louis, and that led to television, and that led to going out to Hollywood. I spent over a decade on E-Entertainment Television. I was on the red carpet hosting, interviewing all the stars for the Academy Awards, the Grammys, the Emmy Awards, and then I fell in love with game shows, and I became a game show host. And I've essentially been doing that for 20 plus years. To walk out on that stage every night, especially in my hometown, I know that I made the right choices.
Due to his great achievements, he was inducted into the Melville School District Hall of Fame.
I really believe there's something special about an award or an acknowledgement that comes from home. This award to me lets me know that while I haven't forgotten home, home hasn't forgotten me. I think when it's all done for me, I just want people to say, you know, that's a guy that had a pretty good life and enjoyed every minute of it.
With
Curtis Schmidt.
Behind the camera, I'm Isabella Worthland for Channel 97 News.
Wow, Todd Noonan has had an amazing career.
He sure has. Now here's a story about an OHS student who also has a bright future.
Let's meet Emma Rushing.
Emma Rushing is taking a jab at traditional sports.
So after I got out of grade school and middle school, I had to do some sort of sport according to my parents. So I just kind of looked around and found fencing, and I've read books and stuff where characters fence. I do foil fencing, which in my opinion is the best kind of fencing, but everyone has their preference. In foil fencing, you use a certain type of sword, and because of that certain sword that you use, you have a different target area.
Emma trains once a week at the Webster Groves Rec Center. She started fencing before high school, but how did she know that fencing would be her sport?
Honestly, I think after I finished the first kind of like beginner's training session, I just kind of realized this is amazing. I love this.
What are some of the challenges of fencing?
I mean, it really depends on who you're fencing. There's a lot of factors to go into it. You have to be able to think quickly on your feet. You certainly have to be open to constructive criticism and certainly be ready for bruises. I've played soccer and basketball and softball and volleyball. I've played them all before, but I was never completely in love with them. But when I started fencing, I was just kind of I felt like this was the one sport that I could actually excel in.
Emma will be continuing fencing throughout her high school career. She will start competing in more competitions in the near future. With Brittany Coney behind the camera, I'm Tyler Willard for Channel 97 News.
Hey Kylie, what are your plans over winter break?
I'm not sure. I need some ideas.
Well, you're in luck. I'll show you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Bush.
And I'm Lauren Halmashak.
And I'm Kylie House. We asked some Oakville students and staff what to do over winter break. Let's hear what you guys said and try it out. What should Oakville students do over winter break?
Eat food.
They should read.
I feel like they should sleep in. Go sledding.
Make cookies.
Not go out so that I don't have to see them.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Drool on yourself all break, please.
Watch Netflix.
Hang out with me.
Avoid public places. Don't drive. Please keep me safe.
Happy holidays, Oakville. I'm Kylie House.
I'm Lauren Halmashak.
I'm Ryan Bush.
For Channel 97 News. wraps up today's holiday edition of Eyes on the Tigers, Channel 97 News.
We hope you join us for our next show on January 16th.
If you'd like to see more of our content and stay up to date on what's happening at Oakville, make sure to visit myohsonline.com. We post new stories all the time.
Thank you for joining us, Oakville. I'm Kylie Gaither.
And I'm Kara Nienhaus. Have a great holiday break. And remember, Oakville, keep your eyes on the Tigers.
For a game show host, it's like being Santa Claus 365 days a year, you know. And everyone talks about reality television, and there really is nothing real about reality television. The only true reality television is game shows.